Alrighty, 3, 2, 1, let's dance. Hey everybody, happy Sunday. Coach Mark here. So as I said, this upcoming week I'm going to be traveling. I'm going to be in Florida, hooray. So I am not going to be able to do a video for you all next week, so I did promise a double feature this weekend. What I'm going to be talking about today is just my last training cycle, how well it went, and kind of what comes next once I get back from my holiday. So as you can see on the slide, last training cycle went really well. Hit a double PR on my BTN press. Hit a 455 camber bar squat, which is a 25-pound PR over my old best. A 230 log press, which is 10 pounds over my old best. And then a 600 double on the raw deadlift, and that is 15 pounds over my old 2RM there. So along the way, I did make some changes to the program, and I learned quite a few things that I'll be carrying over into future waves. Originally, the program was designed as 4 days a week, but honestly, I'm liking 3 days a week. I'm just feeling better on 3 days a week of training. It allows me to focus on doing a bit more cardio for long-term health and wellness. And I just find that for me, like Fridays after I'm done with my work week, doing a cardio session's great. I don't mind that so much. But the idea of doing a full lifting session after that, honestly, mentally, I'm not there right now. So rather than try and jam a square peg into a round hole, I'd rather adapt the program around me. So originally you had lower developmental, upper developmental, lower max, and upper max with the deadlift focus, BTN press, camber bar squat, and log lift. So what I did is I merged the first 2 days together into a full body developmental of the deadlift and BTN press. Then it was upper max and then lower max. I found this schedule was just a lot more sustainable, a lot more recoverable, and I still made great progress with it. Now, the weekly schedule is I'd lift Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, cardio on Tuesdays and Fridays. The max effort days were done back to back, and I put the log before the squat because I wanted to put my priority into the log press because, my pressing it's decent, but it's not great. I've got a long way to go to ever kind of really be more competitive. And just in general, I'd like a bigger press, especially when you look at my pressing strength versus my squatting and pulling strength. There's a discrepancy there. And, I could sit here and cope and say, oh, long arms. At day's end, I got work to do. So Monday was full body, Tuesday cardio, Wednesday upper max, Thursday lower max, Friday cardio. That's what the week looked like. Now, as far as the log and squat, the max effort cycles were pretty gosh darn basic. It was just a 5-week wave where I'd ramp up to a 5, 4, 3, 2, or 1, depending on what week I was in. And the goal would be that I started at 5, that I would add 5 to 10% each set. So for example, in week 1, I'd start at 55% doing 5s, and then the goal was to add 5 to 10% each set. So then by set number 5, I could be anywhere between, say, 20%, so 75% or more was the goal. And if I didn't feel like I could make a weight jump, then I wouldn't make the weight jump and I might just repeat a given weight. And the idea here is I used what I was hoping to hit in week 5 to calibrate my percentages for my ramping starts. It also acted as kind of a good sanity check because then I could say, oh, okay, I'm missing reps in week 3. Maybe my target 1RM should go down a little bit. It just gave me that luxury of being able to play with it. This is kind of a really good, simple 5-week quasi-max effort wave that I really like because it's durable, it's reliable, and I use it quite a bit myself in my own programs. And then generally, I'm not doing more than 5 total sets. If I do feel like I could do more than 5 sets, I probably was not aggressive enough with my weight jumps, and then I'd keep that in mind moving into the next week. And then, of course, in week 5, it's just go for a new max. Now, as far as the developmental lifts, for the BTN press, I was actually wanting to experiment with advanced German volume training. Classic GVT is 10 by 10. Advanced GVT is usually 10 by 5 or 10 by 6. Seems like I'm kind of getting 2 different sources whenever I read up on it. So what I wanted to do was play with that and use volume as a way of driving my behind the neck press. Because I'm not very statically strong on this variation, I can't use intensity to drive progress right now. I'm not in the position to do so. So I have to progress using other means and methods. So volume was where I opted for. So using my old 1RM of 165, that's what I used to calculate these percentages. And you can see I gave myself deltas to play with in weeks 3 and week 4 as I got more competent and confident with the movement. And in week 5, I was going for a new 3RM with what was my 1RM. I got 2 reps, and then my foot slipped out from underneath me, seated on the bench on rep number 3. I'm still going to count this as a big win, though, because I do feel that I had the shoulder press strength, but I just lost positioning, which happens. And as far as the deadlift goes, this was a pretty basic step loading progression. So 5x5, 6x4, 8x3, and then, some doubles. And then in week 5, we did a couple doubles, and then we were just repping out. Those percentages are played with a little bit As you could probably guess, I was using closer to multiples of 5% jumps, but then I adjusted them based off how I felt that day, or, something like, I'm not loading a bar with, 395. I'm just not. I'm going to go up to 405. So played with it a little bit. And then this did wind up, I hit a new double at 600 pounds, which is a 15-pound PR for me. And I firmly believe I could have done a third rep. If you watch the footage in the shorts on my page, take a look, tell me what you think. The goal to now is tomorrow, which will be the June 16th. I'm actually going to try a new 1-rep max, see how I feel. I might warm up and say, never mind, I'm not doing it. Or I might hit something good. Let's find out, right? But either way, new 2RM, especially in a 5-week wave, I'm very happy with that. Now, big takeaways for me. Moving forward, I'm sticking to 3-day training weeks. It's just much more sustainable for me at this point in the game. I want to continue experimenting with advanced German volume training. It's a really good accumulation method, and I think in lieu of speed work, it has some value, especially if you are just looking to focus more on building overall muscle mass. 5-week waves, while doable, I think I want to scale down to 4-week waves. It's something I've talked about before with my conjugate rotations. 3 to 5 week waves are the norm. And personally, I like slightly longer waves for myself because I feel like I can extract more from my accessory movements in that timeline. And the fact that I can get progress like this in this short of a wave tells me that there's some stones I could turn over for some new progress as long as I get a little bit creative, which is half the fun of this game and why conjugate is such a fun way to train. So as far as what's next, I'm going to continue using advanced German volume training on my developmental for upper body movements. I'm playing with kind of what the program is going to look like when I get back from my holiday, but I'll talk about that in a future video. I've decided I actually want to train the trap bar for a little bit. Reason being, I've actually never really trained on the trap bar, and I think it would be a great novel way to train a low block pull type position, which is where I'm very weak. I'm strong off the floor, I'm weak at mid shin, so the low block pull emulates that. And then also too, by using a trap bar, I'm going to work my upper back a little bit harder, which more upper back I can get, the merrier. I want to dial in my log rack position, so pause front squats and a log power clean to pause dip push press are going to be the next developmental movements that I'm opting for. And then overall, I'm just going to do a lot more volume for upper body. And then I want to put a little more conditioning type work in for my lower body day. So here's kind of what that looks like right now. Lower max effort day, trap bar deadlift, and then like a hack squat or leg press, some sort of bilateral leg emphasis movement. This might even become a Hatfield squat versus chains. I'm just going to kind of play with it, see what my knee likes. Seal rows, seated dumbbell cleans, back extensions, and a sled drag. For upper max, the next variation I'm going to push is a 40-degree axle incline press with a slight pause. I did some paused incline pressing to a 2-board, or at least the equivalent of a 2-board off of pins this last training wave, and I really think that helped improve my log pressing quite a bit. Then I'm either going to do dips or dumbbell bench. Again, we're going to see what my shoulder says. Loo raises, face pulls, rolling tricep extensions, overhead tricep extensions, and hammer curls. And then for the full body day, I'm going to do something a little different here. I'm going to do paused front squats, superset with pull-ups, a log power clean to push press, then a superset series of 70-degree dumbbell incline press and meadows row. And I'm playing with it. I'm going to do sort of a 4-week advanced German volume training inspired progression. And when I get that whipped up, I will share it with you all. Don't you worry. And it'll be free of charge. So that way, if you try it and you don't make any gains, you can get all your money back. Then some rope press downs and axle curls. So quite a bit of volume for upper body, as you can see, but nothing nonsensical. And the idea is, on a lot of these, it's just going to be 2 or 3 hard sets, which I find works really well for me because I actually stay focused, I stay locked in, and I push harder to extract the maximal benefit from every movement. So again, that's what it's looking like when I get back from my holiday in the week ahead. For the week ahead, I got access to a hotel gym. I'm just going to get a couple quick pump sessions in. I'm not too worried about it. And also, I just want to say thank you. To everyone watching this, take time out of your day to watch me yap to my computer means a lot. This is happening, right? Me taking this holiday and actually getting to go down to Florida, meet Big Z, meet the great Inez, announcing at Orlando's Strongest Man. It happened because of all of you. So thank you, sincerely. It's just been such a great time this past couple years, especially in the past year focusing more on YouTube. It's helped me grow the business. It's helped me find confidence. And I'm very thankful for you all. So I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day.